In my professional career, I've worked with people with 7 and 8-figure portfolios, but almost none of them truly understood this one thing related to their retirement. They thought that Social Security was just a nice monthly check, a little bit of a bonus if they needed it. But for many Americans, Social Security is truly their only reliable source of income in retirement. If you are like most Americans, Social Security is not optional. It is the foundation of your entire retirement income plan. And if you get it wrong, it's not an easy fix. By the end of this video, you will be educated on how to turn this hidden thing into a powerful retirement income strategy. And you'll learn about the potential mistake that's quietly costing millions of retirees thousands each year. Before we start, let me ask you something. If Social Security were to disappear tomorrow, would your retirement survive? Let me know your answers in the comments. For millions of Americans, Social Security is the backbone of their retirement income strategy. And that's a problem because Social Security was never meant to fund your retirement. It was only meant to help support it. According to MassMutual, the average Social Security benefit in 2024 was $1,900 a month. That's before taxes, before Medicare deductions, and before inflation eats away at what's left. Can you live on that? Because most people can't. Yet millions are forced to, not because they didn't work hard, it's because they didn't understand the way that Social Security was meant to work. And the worst part is that once you've made a decision, it could potentially be locked in. Social Security does not create freedom. It's base level income that barely keeps up with inflation. And claiming your benefit early, well, that could reduce your payout by up to 30% permanently. And delaying your benefit can increase it 8% per year each year after your full retirement age, up to age 70. That's the gap between surviving and actually thriving. Most people never run the numbers. They pick an age, they file, and they hope for the best. And as we know, hope is not a strategy. Now that you know Social Security may not be enough on its own, it's time to talk about what the right strategy might be for you. Funding your retirement with Social Security is still possible, but it only really works well if you build it around 3 essential pillars. The first pillar is to enhance your claiming strategy. This is where people may lose tens of thousands of dollars because they don't understand their claiming options. Claiming at 62 might sound good because you're tired of working, but unless you really need that money, waiting can drastically change your income. Let's break it down. So if you claim at 62, you get the smallest check. Whereas if you wait until full retirement age, which is somewhere in the range between 66 and 67, depending on when you were born, you get your full retirement benefit. But if you wait until 70, you get a bonus, an 8% increase every year past full retirement age until age 70. That is a 30% increase. And most people don't wait, not because they can't, because no one has told them about it. Now, let me tell you something even more shocking yet personal. If you're married, your strategy is not just about you. It involves your spouse as well. There are spousal benefits, survivor benefits, and even divorced spousal benefits. When you coordinate these properly, you can unlock income that most people don't even realize is there. The second pillar is to build complementary income streams. Think of Social Security as the pillar, not the whole house. To build real retirement income, you need to stack on top of it. This might mean a 401k, an IRA, a rental income from a property you own, or maybe even just a simple brokerage account with dividends. It matters because every dollar outside of Social Security gives you more room to breathe and more choice over when you tap your Social Security benefits. Also remember that Social Security has income thresholds. So if you go above them, you could pay taxes on up to 85% of your Social Security benefits. But when you blend income sources strategically, you can keep more of your Social Security benefits. Finally, the third pillar is to manage your expenses. Even the best retirement income strategy will not work if you're spending more than you're bringing in. I've seen clients with over $100,000 in annual retirement income still struggle financially because they were spending more than they were actually bringing in. Try to move with clarity and run your retirement like a business. That means getting clear with what healthcare and long-term care could cost you and building that into your retirement plan. It means checking in on your spending each year and not just guessing on how inflation might affect it. You are the CFO of your retirement, and smart CFOs don't guess. They stay ahead with a plan. So when you put all three pillars together, you're seeking to get something that is solid and dependable. This triangle becomes your security net. But even the strongest plan can fall apart if you fall into these common traps. Here is where even the most educated people fall apart. First, they're afraid that the money that they put into Social Security might not be there, or maybe they see other people around them filing early for Social Security, and so they decide to do that as well. But they could potentially end up losing hundreds of thousands over their retirement span because of this move. Secondly, they ignore taxes, thinking Social Security income is tax-free. But it's not, especially if you don't plan for how Social Security is going to interact with your other sources of income. Worst of all, they treat Social Security like a safety net instead of a foundation. They wait too long to plan, and then by then, their options are limited because you need to be in the system for at least 10 years before you are eligible for a Social Security benefit. These mistakes don't just cost you money, they cost you peace of mind in retirement. So how do you avoid all of these mistakes? Social Security is just one piece of the puzzle, but when it's aligned with everything else, it brings the puzzle together. This isn't about working longer or sacrificing more, it's about working smarter with what you already have. So here's what you need to do. You need to know when to file for Social Security. And why? Because claiming too early might cause a lifetime of loss, while filing too late might not fit your life goals. Second, you need to build income around Social Security. Utilize IRAs, utilize rental income, have a part-time gig. This helps to give your Social Security room to breathe, and it helps to protect you if costs rise faster than expected. You need a spending strategy that evolves with your life, not a fixed budget that you try to squeeze into, but an adaptive strategy that fits with your changing needs. Some years will be higher, other years will be lower. That is normal. What is important is that you are tracking it and you stay in control. Finally, review it all every year. Just like a business runs an annual review, your retirement should be tested and adjusted regularly because markets in life keep changing. In my experience, the most successful retirees are not rigid. They keep adapting. That's how you make retirement work, not just on paper, but in real life. Before we conclude, let me share a story of some client experiences that I've had. So this is not a particular person, it's just a culmination of different experiences. I've worked with small business owners who've done everything right. They've saved into their SEP IRA, they've paid off their house. I even had one in particular that had a pension from earlier in their career. But when we sit down, one of the things that I commonly hear is, I don't just want to survive retirement, I want to enjoy it, I want to travel, I want to spend time with my friends, family, and loved ones. And you typically start to hear this kind of thing around that early 60 time frame when they're almost ready to collect Social Security. And when they get to this age, something kind of magically seems to happen where they start to think, I better take Social Security early. I don't know if it's going to be there. There's so much going on in the world. My friend did that. I'm going to do that too. I'll put the money in an account and just invest it, which never really happens. But people start to get worried about when they're going to take their Social Security and have a sense of urgency to take it early at 62. So what I do with clients in this situation is we take a look at their bigger picture. We go through a financial plan and we see what would be the best age for them to take Social Security at based on their projected life expectancy. Of course, if someone has a terminal illness or something where they might pass away soon, 62 is probably their best bet. But if you've got someone who's in great health, whose parents are in their late 90s, they probably need to think about deferring to age 70. So by running those numbers and showing clients what will happen if they claim early, they're able to see the full picture and they're able to make a better decision on when to collect their Social Security. This is why so many people retire and feel lost, because they don't understand that Social Security was never designed to carry the weight of a modern retirement. Yet millions are still treating it as a lifeboat instead of using it as a ladder for growth. But you don't need to gamble your future on guesswork. You need a strategy built for real life, one that can adapt and evolve in tough times. And if you don't have a plan yet, that is what I am here for. I'm offering a complimentary retirement strategy session designed to help you integrate Social Security wisely and to help you build a retirement income plan that is built to last. Click the link in the description to schedule your complimentary session. And if you enjoyed this video on Social Security, you'll probably also enjoy this video on pensions and how to incorporate those into your retirement income plan. Thank you and have a lovely day.